Welcome back to another opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve together, uncovering and unleashing more of that peace that we have within us and that power that we have within us that's just below the surface of the conditioning that no longer serves us, allowing us to fully express our power and sit in our peace. Today I want to dive into, again, this is a practice we've been talking about a lot, but dive into a practice that has really helped me create peace or uncover peace in my life and be that much more powerful as a result of it, and that is meditation. And a few weeks ago, we talked about the benefits of meditation. We talked about different practices that you can research and try. Today I want to dive into how to get the most out of your practice, so that you can really sit in those benefits much sooner than you would if you were just figuring out, how to have the most out of your practice just on your own. I've been doing it for 6.5 years, almost 7, June 6th, 2022 will be 7 years. And through this, I have recognized different things that really allow me to tap further into the benefits and further into myself, because that's really where the benefits come from. Tapping into that core authentic self. And this will allow you to have more space between you and your thoughts, your emotions, all the things that go on in your day, so that you can choose how you're showing up instead of being reactive, because that is one of the biggest benefits of meditation that I have found. But instead of going into the benefits now, you can check those out in this video or this video. And now we'll just get into how to get the most out of your meditation practice. So feel free to journal or just feel free to come back to this video when you need to. I have about 9 or 10 things that I have discovered that have helped me really tap into my meditation practice. The first tool to get the most out of your meditation practice is, after you are done experimenting with different practices to see which one you like, find that one practice and do it regularly for at least 3 to 6 months. I would even say a year. Because what happens here is when you kind of, jump from one practice to the other, it doesn't allow you to really transcend into it. But when you have one practice that you're doing regularly and that you're following regularly, this allows you to get comfortable in that style of practice so that you can really feel safe and really feel the ability to let go into it. I like to compare it to moving into a new apartment or a house. It's like, yeah, you move in after you've searched, you move into that apartment, you move into that house, and it takes, a month, it takes 2 months to start to really feel comfortable and safe and to let go into it. It's your new space, right? Meditation, this new practice, it's your space. So allow yourself to come to it regularly so that you can really feel comfortable dropping into this practice with your mind and with your body and with your spirit. The second tool is very similar to this. The second tool is create a regular meditation schedule. Similar to being able to just let go into your meditation practice after regularly doing it, like the apartment or the house. When we have a regular schedule, it tells our mind and our body, right now is the time that I have decided to let go. And when we do that regularly, our body and our mind knows, okay, this is the time for me to just relax my body, have some peace in my mind, have some clarity. It's like if we have breakfast every morning at 10 a.m. for 6 months, and then for some reason we don't have breakfast at 10 a.m., like the day after that 6 months is over, our body's kind of like, what's going on? I'm hungry. I usually eat during this time. You start to feel that hunger pain come up. It's the same thing here. It's like when we choose one time regularly to meditate, that allows us to drop in that much further into the practice and allow our body and our mind to open up into that time that we have designated to coming back to ourselves. That's the second tool here. The third tool that I have found particularly beneficial for me is practicing first thing in the morning. That's the third tool. First thing in the morning, after I brush my teeth, wash my face, maybe even shower, I meditate. My phone is off until after I meditate. Because when we meditate first, we have a clear mind. There is no phone exposure to world news that is going to get in our mind that's going to distract us from really being able to drop into that meditation. So when we meditate first, we have much more clarity coming out of sleep, and it allows us to show up to our day by coming to ourselves first. Because when we can come to ourselves before we come to the rest of the world, that allows us to bring that peace and that power that we're uncovering to the world. Whereas if we start to lose ourselves in distractions by going on our phone first, or going to work first, or taking calls first, then we try to kind of work in reverse to come back to that peace and that power when we meditate later in the day. Meditating first thing in the morning allows us that clarity to really drop into that meditation even more. We have less stuff happening in our minds and in our bodies also. The fourth tool is to meditate on an empty stomach. I have recognized so much depth and so much clarity and so much relaxation, like I could just feel the comfort in my body when I have meditated on fasts. Like 24 hour or 3 day fasts is when I have recognized like extremely powerful meditations. And I'm not saying you have to fast and then meditate, but I'm saying meditate on an empty stomach. First thing in the morning before eating, or maybe, a few hours after lunch. This allows our energy to freely flow through our body and be used within that meditation at the highest efficiency. Whereas if we are going into meditation on on a full stomach, this is requiring that our energy is going from here into our stomachs to digest that food. So it allows us more clarity in the meditation, and aka if we have more clarity, it's easier to drop further in when we have that empty stomach. Not to mention if we're having sugar or caffeine, anything that's going to create more energy or angst in the body, it's going to be harder to tap into that meditation. So number 4 is meditating on an empty stomach. I typically never meditate more than closer than 2 hours after like a meal. It's always usually 2 hours after a meal. I hope that makes sense. Always usually 2 hours after a meal, or at least an hour and a half, depending on the size of the meal, so that I'm getting the most clear out of that meditation. Number 5, I love to do movement, aka stretching or walking or yoga, before my meditation. Here's why. Because when we are maybe just waking up and getting into meditation, although that's fantastic, and I've done that for a while, I have recognized even more benefit when I stretch before that meditation, because when we do physical activity, it allows us to drop from our mind into the body that much more, which allows us to be grounded in the present moment, which allows us to drop further into that meditation when we drop into that meditation. And that allows, again, for more clarity, it allows for more creativity, and it allows for just more peace to come within the body. Yoga, walking, stretching, whatever it looks like for you, even after exercises, like 30 minutes after an exercise, it also helps me drop in that much more. Number 6, this might seem like an obvious one, but it's very important actually. Create a distractionless, safe, and comfortable environment to meditate in, where you are not going to be, in the middle of your meditation, then someone walks in and says your name, and then you're just like, and you're whipped out of that meditation, right? That's not going to breed the results that you want in your meditation. And also, when we feel safe and comfortable in our environment, our body's intelligent. So our body knows when and when not to really, power down. When we feel safe and comfortable, it allows the body to go deeper and therefore the mind to go deeper. But if we are in an unsafe place, the energy is going to be kind of high. We're going to be kind of wondering what's going on around us. Is someone going to interrupt me? That's very important. And I'll even tack on another one here. Put yourself in a comfortable, upright position. Most practices, like 99% of practices, are always going to be better if you are sitting with your back straight, even having some support to hold your back up, and just sitting upright. Whereas if we're laying down, if we're laying down, this can trigger us into sleep. And we don't want to go to sleep when we meditate. We want to meditate. We don't want to sleep. That's a different thing. Unless your body's really calling for sleep, then go to sleep. But comfortable place, comfortable position, safe place, good position. That's very important. The seventh tool here for getting the most out of your meditation practice: do not set expectations around the results of your practice. When we set expectations around the results of our meditation, we become attached to the results, and when we become attached to the results, we are no longer sitting in presence with the practice because we are concerned about how it's going to work for us. So releasing that expectation and just simply being with the instructions of that practice, that will allow you to untether yourself from the future and really be present with that practice, whether it's with a mantra or if it's with a breath. Really huge, again, allowing you to tap further and transcend into that space around the core self, around that authentic self, to really shine through. Number 8, the 8th tool here, is find yourself a friend, accountability partner, or a community of people who are also doing meditation. Perhaps even the same meditation as you, maybe even different. Because when we have this community, not only do we feel supported and not alone in our practice, we feel like people are around us, and it's encouraging us to also stay regular with our practice. And as each person has their own insights and their own breakthroughs and their own coming over obstacles, they can share that with you, and you could learn that much quicker because you're learning from their mistakes, you're learning from what they got through, and now you are learning from that and applying it to your own practice. So you're learning and getting deeper in your practice, learning more about your practice that much quicker, and it really excels your growth, right? Whereas if you're just doing this by yourself, you might not come across insights every single day. It might be, I had this really deep insight, last month, and now I had another one today. It's a little bit slower. So surrounding ourselves with kind of like a brainstorm of other people who are meditating can help us learn quicker and can help us deepen our practice also. The last one here, number 9. Here you go. Number 9 is when you find practicing meditation difficult, come back to the reason why. Why did you start to show up to meditation? Why did you start this practice? Why do you want to meditate? For me, it was because I wanted a life of peace instead of a life of debilitating anxiety. That was a very powerful why for me, and every time that I was like, I don't feel like meditating today. I don't feel like meditating right now. I come back to, why do I want to meditate? Because I want that peace in my life. I want to keep my momentum towards that peace and that power in my life. And as soon as I did that, I was re-incentivized to do my practice again. When we come back to our why, we're coming back to like the core motivation, the core inspiration behind what it is that we're doing. And just like working out in many cases, when we don't want to work out, but we still do work out, we often feel so grateful that we actually did. We feel so much better that we actually did that workout. With meditation, I can tell you it's the same thing. When we don't want to meditate, but we still meditate, you're like, I'm pretty happy that I did that, and because it's allowing us to, come and rehydrate ourselves in that meditation and rehydrating ourselves with that why when we don't want to meditate. These are 9 tools to help you get deeper and get more benefit and just unleash more of that power and unleash more of that peace within your body so that you could show up to life the way that you want to and create life the way that you want to. Meditation is a powerful practice, and I'm still learning more and more about it and realizing new benefits as a result of practicing it. I practice daily, once in the morning, right when I wake up, and once in the afternoon, like around 3 or 4 p.m. I hope that this has helped you. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop them below or reach out to me on Instagram. You can ask them privately. I'm so hyped to have these conversations. Also, every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. New York Eastern Time, I hold a group centering and meditation practice. Every Sunday morning, you could join in the link down below, and we could just learn and grow and evolve in real time together. We could meet each other, have a conversation. We typically do a little bit of breath work. We drop into a guided meditation held by myself, and then we open up the space to talk about our insights, ask questions, and just share what we need to share. If and only if you really enjoyed this content, a like or a subscription goes really far away. And if you know anybody who could benefit from this content, please share it with them. These messages, if you feel like they are valuable, to get them out to more and more people it's huge. In my opinion, the more people that meditate, the better this world will end up being. I look forward to seeing you in the comments down below or in the next video. Much love and happy meditating.